Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined.
We're the #1 oil producer in the world. That's not spin, that's not opinion, that's fact. So explain this. Why are you still getting hammered at the pump? Why is diesel setting records? Why are prices climbing like we're still dependent on foreign oil? Because either that claim doesn't mean what they want you to think it means, or you're not being told the full story. Tonight we break it down. Welcome back to the Behind the Line podcast. After President Trump's address highlighting that the United States is now the top oil and gas producer in the world, a lot of Americans are asking the obvious question. If that's true, why are fuel prices still going up? And the answer isn't simple, but once you understand it, you'll start seeing exactly where the disconnect is. Yes, the United States is the #1 oil producer in the world. That part is real. But what's missing is this. Being #1 does not mean we control the price. We keep that oil here, or Americans get priority access. That's the part nobody explains. Oil is a global commodity, which means U.S. oil is sold on the world market. Prices are tied to global demand, and Americans compete with the rest of the world. So if something happens anywhere, conflict, supply cuts, shipping disruptions, prices go up here, even if nothing changes at home, because the market doesn't care where the oil came from. It cares what someone will pay for it. Now here's where it gets worse. You don't use crude oil, you use refined fuel. And the US has a major problem. We haven't built significant new refineries in decades. In fact, some shut down during COVID, others are running near maximum capacity, and regulations make new ones extremely difficult to build, shooting ourselves in the foot. So even if we produce more oil, we can't have the ability to process it fast enough. That bottleneck drives prices up. Now let's bring it closer to home, because this is where you feel it directly. In states like Washington, Oregon, California, and other blue Democrat states, you're paying for high fuel taxes, carbon policies, environmental compliance costs, and other regulatory layers. Every one of those adds cost per gallon. So when prices are higher here than anywhere else, that's not an accident. That's policy. Here's the part people should really be watching. Diesel. Because diesel fuels trucking, shipping, agriculture, and emergency services. And diesel prices have been getting hit harder than gasoline. Why? Because diesel is more complex refining, higher global demand for diesel, and tighter supply. When diesel goes up, everything goes up. That's how inflation spreads. Even with record US production, we're still tied to global instability. If shipping lanes are threatened, if production is cut, if conflict escalates, prices jump immediately, not based on today's supply, but based on what the market fears tomorrow. So let's answer the question directly. Why are prices rising if we're the top producer? Because oil is produced globally, US oil is sold globally, refining capacity is limited, state policies increase cost, diesel supply is tight, and global instability drives pricing. It's not one factor, it's a stacked system. So here's the bottom line. America being #1 in production is real, but it doesn't mean control, it doesn't mean protection, and it doesn't mean cheaper fuel. Production is domestic, pricing is global, policy is layered, and the consumer pays the difference. So when you hear energy dominance, understand what that actually means. Yes, we're producing more, but you're still paying more. If you're tired of headlines that don't match reality, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who's asking the same question at the pump. Because the more people understand what actually is happening, the harder it gets to sell half the story. You can find Behind the Line on behindthelinepodcast.com, YouTube, Rumble, Brighteon, BitChute, Spotify, Patreon, Apple Podcasts, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Truth Social, and other social media sites. Full episodes, clips, and updates are posted across all platforms. Follow wherever you actually watch, because the algorithm is not your friend. Also, I want to hear from you. Do you think this is global markets or policy decisions driving prices higher where you live? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.